welcome to episode 7 of the Pow Wow Lounge. I am your host, Michael Michelle, and today I have two new faces. Faces, do you want to introduce yourself?
Faces. Sure. Yeah, my name is Tim.
We get Tim today?
Yeah. Do you want Young Mitchell or you want Tim?
You can do whatever you want, Young Mitchell. I was trying to figure out, am I supposed to call you Mitt or what am I doing?
Nah, Tim is cool.
Okay.
Tim is cool. Because you're one of my first friends, so
Okay.
it's just like...
Yay. So, okay, I get that.
You have tenure, so...
Okay, thank you. All right. And...
Hi, I'm Taylor.
What? Wow. That was a very modest intro from you. I thought you were going to go out.
No.
Okay. This is new. Okay.
I mean, what do you want me to say?
I don't know. What do you do? I mean, okay. We'll hold that. I'll get into you a little bit.
All right.
I was thinking like a backflip or something.
Yeah, something.
I don't do cartwheels anymore. So.
A flex or something. No, but okay. Because, fitness. But
fitness,
all right.
Yeah, I get it.
So if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for joining once again. Leave me a thumbs up. Let me know if you actually saw episode 6. And if you're new, welcome. This is a show that is, it's called the Pow Wow Lounge because I have little Pow Wow Lounge sessions with my friends. And we basically discuss whatever's trending via social media or in the news. And we just give our opinions on what's going on in the world. One big thing I do request, though, is that you subscribe to this channel because you're not going to want to miss it. And I also ask that you leave a comment because this is a back and forth. I want to make sure we're all having fun, good dialogue. But please just try to be nice, okay? Because sometimes the comments be a little hard, and that's okay. But we're going to get there.
Hateration and holleration.
In the dancery, okay? Okay, so today, first, Taylor, very modest, but Taylor is a fitness instructor that I've known since middle school. We became friendly in high school.
Yep.
Yeah, because I didn't like her that much.
Yep, she didn't like my cartwheels.
What? She was doing them in the middle of class?
No,
it was. And then Tim is a fellow podcaster, so you have to shout out your podcast. Let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, so podcast is called The Baseline Podcast. BASSLINE. Yeah, there we go. Baseline Podcast. The brand is the Everyday Weekend, where we just try to live every day like it's the weekend. So
there you go. There you go.
Like
so you can find Tim right there, the Everyday Weekend. And we also have another guest here who is technically my first live audience. Kim is here. She's working in the background a little bit, so we're going to clap it up for Kim. And she's going to be helping me today with some behind-the-scenes stuff. So thanks for that, Kim. So our first topic for today kind of came from a group chat with all of us in it, and Kim was the catalyst of this.
That wonderful chat of ours.
Kim's niece had a 90s day theme or 90s day party at her school, and she asked Kim if there were TVs in the 90s.
That's tight. I still think that's tight.
And it made all of us feel old instantly. Well,
very old.
And then you had an instant too, where
yes, like.
What was
I had a coach's niece ask her, since you were born in the 70s, were you a part of slavery? And I'm like...
Because you know what's crazy?
What?
That makes sense, though. Because, like, I equate, like, when I was growing up, I thought, like, Martin Luther King was, like, a slave or some shit like that.
Tim.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. But you know what? I understand because it's like
I'm like 6 or 7 and we're listening Black History Month. What's the first thing they teach us about Black history?
Well, okay,
slavery.
They never really talked about slavery like that anyways in school.
No,
I don't remember
our school,
it.
They kind of skip past it.
Literally.
Yeah, because we went to school on a fucking plantation. So
wow, there's going to be lots of beep, beep. Okay, no. So ironically, we all went to the same school. That's kind of like the theme with all of my guests. We all went to the same school at varying times. However, Tim is the first person that I've met as a baby. I've known him since 3?
Yeah, like 2 or 3. Like
so I've known him practically my whole life. But yeah, so that was kind of interesting. That comment, slavery. I feel like we all do this, even with our parents. It's just like they'll tell us something, and it's like, let me see what I could think of my parents. Oh, the cell phone in a bag. That's my dad's thing. He used to carry around a cell phone inside of a bag,
like a Ziploc bag.
No, it's like it used to be like a computer bag. And then
like a laptop bag.
Like a laptop bag.
Because it wasn't
for the cell phone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it wasn't just a phone. It was connected to something.
Right. My grandmother has basically seen the evolution of television.
Wow.
From radio black and white, color, HD, all that.
Have y'all ever listened to like a sporting event on the radio?
No.
I think I have.
I don't even want to watch
Yeah.
it. Why would I listen?
Nah, it's tight. Like,
It
I
adds
think
to the
I
excitement.
like it. It's really cool because they're
No.
so descriptive. Like, I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like,
I mean, you have to visualize what's happening. It's kind of like a book.
yeah, but it's just like so cool that somebody could do that in real time. Like, because you don't
Yeah.
know if somebody's gonna make a shot or not. You're not gonna know like somebody's gonna take a technical foul. Like,
Might be a script. Might be a script. No, I'm just joking. Which is also a trending topic online this week is the NBA script leaking. The Lakers are going to win the championship.
they're not winning. They're not winning the championship.
That's the guess. So, you don't think so?
No,
The guess.
they're not winning. It's not.
I haven't kept
Who are
up
they
enough
playing
to know.
against?
The
who are they
Denver
playing?
Nuggets.
Right now, yeah.
Oh.
They're not winning.
You're
They're
just
not.
like, I don't know. I'm just going to.
Yeah, this is not my area of expertise, so
Okay, well,
maybe I should have said there.
even though, let's go back to the kids. You should have said. Oh my gosh, this is going to be fun. So hearing those comments from kids, right? How does that make you guys feel? Like for me, it felt a little nostalgic because then we started running down everything that we
Right.
missed, like VHS tapes and floppy disks. And then it's like we realized, wait a minute, we're not even 30 yet, and we're already being asked these questions. Like, how does that make y'all feel?
Old. I don't
Tim?
like it.
I'm cool with it. Like,
You don't care.
people think, but here's the thing though. Like, people always thought I was older than what I really was.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You know
I
what I mean?
get the opposite.
You know how many times like I've been out and people thought I was like 30? I was like, no, I'm like 25. Like,
Wow.
Oh, you're talking about when you were 25.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, even now.
'Cause I'm like, you're 27, not that far
I mean, but
away.
people still think I'm like in my 30s.
Huh.
I don't get it. Like, is that
I
do
get the opposite.
I get the complete
It's
opposite.
a baby.
maybe it's the facial hair? I don't know, but
Could be.
Yeah.
I think facial hair, makes men look more mature.
Yeah, it does.
Astute.
yeah.
Probably that.
Because like ever since I turned 21, I've always had a beard, so it's just that
Yeah,
might-
because you didn't have that when we were in
No.
high school.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
Stubbles.
Not even that.
I didn't even have that.
You didn't have three
It
little
was
chin
straight
hairs?
baby face.
I was
Oh, wow.
babyface.
Mm-hmm.
I was really babyface until sophomore year of college,
That's crazy. And then a beard just sprouted out?
And the height.
and I didn't grow till I got to college too.
So weird.
Wow. Okay. Now, here's another question I have for y'all.
Mm.
I have been trying to understand what being woke is for the past few months. I
man.
personally don't. I mean, I know what wokeness is. Okay, so I associate the term with black people because that's where I heard it first from black people, and it was always. I think if you do a quick Google search, right, it says that being woke is a term derived from, I guess you pronounce this Ave culture, African American vernacular English, and it means being alert to radical prejudice and discrimination. So when I first heard the word woke, that's what I've always associated it with. However, I don't know what it means today. It's kind of weaponized. If you disagree, you're just a wokey. So what is your definition of being woke? That's a tough one, huh?
Yeah, because I don't really know what it is either, to be honest.
I just think of Dr. Umar.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Dr. Umar is how would we classify him, Tim?
The Prince of Pan-Africanism.
Most Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey said the greatest weapon used against the Negro is disorganization. The Most Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey said the greatest weapon used against the Negro is disorganization. Hold on, brothers and sisters. Peace and black power. This is the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Who am I speaking with?
He's the prince. He is the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Is he a legitimate doctor? I've never known
That's
for
a
all
good
these
question.
years.
I don't know. I just laugh at him. So
So we could be out here calling this man doctor, and he's really not even a doctor.
Dr. Umar Ifutande. That's his
Why do you know that name?
Because I follow him on Instagram. It's the funniest thing. He goes live
Oh my
every day.
gosh.
And he'll be in the middle of a playground talking about
That's the
some
thing.
people. The
I think
colonizers are rolling up with the shoddy.
All right. That's some Europeans circling around the prince. I don't have to pull off the shoddy. How many black people you know were tried by... They sending the helicopters at me now. They sending the helicopters at me now. Yes, I'm African, but I built this. I built the whole planet. I ain't going nowhere. But I appreciate the concern, my beautiful African queen. I hope your hair is natural.
I think he's homeless. He's never in a home. He's either in a hotel or a playground. Like, it's just...
I don't know what's up with him. But, okay. Tim, you just associate with Dr. Umar Taylor. You're with me. You don't know.
I really don't know.
Yeah, because it's just foolishness at the end of the day. Like, because being woke, you're just stressing yourself out.
Who came up with this whole woke thing, anyways?
Black
black
people,
person who don't have friends. That's really all it is.
I will not say that is what happened. I think how it used to be used made sense to bring awareness to discrimination and racial injustice. How we're using it today, especially politically, I don't think that's how it originated.
Right.
Like, if you have a differing opinion from someone, they just call you woke. And it's an insult.
Or not woke.
Right, I don't understand. So I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing to be woke. I thought it was good if you're aware of things that are going on.
Nah, just be yourself. That's all you gotta do. Just be yourself.
Okay. What do you think it's like similar to social awareness though? Being woke and socially aware.
No, because I feel like everybody now tries to like outwoke each other. Who cares about that?
Outwoke.
Because we're like, oh man, we care about this cause, but no, this cause is more important. This cause is more important. And then it's just like foolishness.
Yeah.
Like, just like, all right, cool. I don't got time for any of this. So.
And it leads into a lot of things being analyzed deeply. Like we look at things some things way deeper than we should.
That's very true.
Instead of just, no, I literally just enjoy Reese's Pieces. It's not that the brown pieces have been colonized by the yellow pieces and now the orange wants to get in, and everything doesn't have to be looked at that way. I feel like that's kind of that might be what they mean by wokeism.
That's fair too, because like
what, the yellow having beef with the orange?
People who try to like be woke, they like suck the fun out of everything.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh man, such and such had such accomplishments. Well, in 1998 he did such and such to somebody. I was like, all right, cool. That's 20 years ago. Like,
okay, so you're saying it's like a one-upping, like, it's like spades, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You got the Trump, not Trump, but you got the
we can talk about Trump.
No, we will not.
We will not.
We're not going to do that. He's already getting enough publicity, not for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got the spade, the one spade left, the Joker. Bow.
Yeah, big Joker.
Wokeness.
Yeah, the big Joker. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'll say this. I think it's okay to be socially aware about things because that's how things change and we move in the right direction. Woke, unfortunately, is not the right term you want to use if you're socially aware because, it has a negative connotation to it today, which is strange because that's not how it started. But, hey, it's a talking point and it's really big in politics right now. So, I don't know. But please be socially aware because that way you can keep up with what's going on in the world. You know about new topics, different cultures. I don't know. I think being socially aware is the right way to be.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Another topic that went off in the group chat was our bugs, our new meal replacements.
This is just ridiculous. Like.
Yeah, I was anticipating this because I was like, I want to hear more about this.
Yes, please explain this.
So I got some explanation.
Okay.
And any article that I reference will be linked below in the description. Okay. So I'm going to start out like this. According to a Forbes article published in January, some scientists believe farming edible insects to feed people and livestock could help improve food security and support developing economies and could potentially replace conventional animal feed. Why is this? Well, feeding livestock is an incredibly time-consuming and damaging to the environment. Feeding animals arthropods could help free up more land and could be more nutritious to the animals. Some scientists even believe that insects could be used as food for human consumption in order to combat global food insecurity due to the effects of climate change, extreme droughts and floods, global supply chain disruptions, and geopolitical conflicts. As low and middle income nations increase and grow rapidly, they're going to require access to affordable and sustainable nutrition, particularly protein. So that's the first caveat to this. Some scientists believe that if we integrate insects into our diet at some point, it could be beneficial, not just for our nutrition, but also it could ease up some of the effects of climate change. trigger warning there. If you believe in that, you can believe whatever you want. I'm not here to badger you. So that first part, what do you think?
Have you guys seen the movie Snowpiercer?
I have.
Remember when they were feeding like the people who like just made it on like the in the back, they were feeding them insects.
The poor.
Yeah, they were feeding them insects.
What did you say? The who?
The poor.
Exactly. Okay.
They were feeding them insects the entire movie, and that was one of the reasons they led the revolt.
Right.
To go to the front of the train.
Right, because in that film, it was like you take our class system, low, middle, and upper class, and you put on a train. At the back of the train, it was the lower class. As you progress toward the front of the train, you go through the middle and then upper society. And yes, they were eating insects in the back, while, of course, the upper crest of the train were eating meat.
Steak and lobster.
Right.
In a frozen world.
So with this, I will say the major takeaway that I got from that article, even though it hints at trying to add insects into our diet potentially, which some cultures already do.
Some cultures
right.
do.
Developed nations like the U.S., it would be hard to get us to go back to eating insects or to eat insects at all. But some cultures do, so it's totally normal in certain areas of the
They're
world.
going to test it with the homeless first.
For sure. But the main thing is they want to do it with livestock.
Feed the livestock the insects.
So like cows, beef. Like if you take the beef industry, they want to start implementing arthropods.
Well, good thing I don't eat beef.
I mean, they probably already eat that anyway, so it's like...
Hold that, because that's a good point. We're going to come back to that point, Tim. Okay, don't worry about it.
I'm just still stuck on eating an insect. I'm not doing that. I would rather eat the grass.
But you never know. Like in a survival situation, you may have to eat a grub.
What is this, Timon and Pumbaa?
Right.
Like, is it?
Kill me now.
I'm just
Kill me now. I'm not.
I mean, if that's what I got to do.
An insect? What insects are we talking about here? Grasshoppers?
Yeah.
Crickets?
I think millipedes,
spiders,
mealworms, stuff like that.
Is it cooked or like
Millipede?
raw?
No, they'll put seasoning on it.
Oh,
Like a curried grasshopper.
A jerk grasshopper.
A jerk, yeah.
With the eyes and all, just
I
on
think
there.
the eyes are still attached.
That's tight.
You get the exoskeleton and everything.
If it's cooked in season, I may do it.
Oh, they sell them online. So you know what? We'll bring Tim back if I can find these, and we'll have him test out a chocolate grasshopper.
I said may.
Well, we'll see if he
Not
may
confirmation.
do it. It's confirmation to me.
Yeah,
All
no.
right.
You're on your own, buddy. I'm not doing that.
All right, but interesting enough, with this being the headlines, of course, people take this and run with it. So since that article has been published, many other articles have popped up across the web, and they're spread like wildfire throughout social media. But they're not reflecting the accuracy of what I just stated before. So this is the new conspiracy, according to an NPR article, claiming that governments are trying to enslave people and force them to eat bugs.
Yeah.
Now, this has become such a conspiracy and has spread so fast that it's even become a political talking point to condemn opponents in two countries, the Netherlands and Poland. So it's actually it's a negative hit on someone's campaign if you say, hey, he wants to make you eat bugs and I don't. He doesn't like the poor because he wants to feed you bugs, but I don't. Vote for me. It's kind of what's happening globally.
I mean, but that's just politics. They always just take an angle and run with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's all. But we saw that's how Trump got elected.
You're absolutely right. Yes.
Yeah, it's like got elected. All you said was crooked Hillary, and then niggas was like,
they ran with it.
They ran when they started voting for him. Like,
oh, that is true. And people are using this now as a reason to, I don't know. I think this is a whole episode within itself to talk about the state of people right now and
people are stupid.
People are
how easily
insane.
people can be indoctrinated into certain groups.
Right.
Of course, free will, you can do whatever you want, but it's just kind of sad. Mm-hmm. But to play back into this food and bugs thing, technically we're already doing that with food, with bugs and other excrements from animals, technically, that are processed. Bugs, rodent hair, and even poop are some of the things legally allowed by the FDA in our food. So the FDA labeled them as food defects, and they say it is economically impractical to grow, harvest, or process raw products that are totally free of non-hazardous, naturally occurring, unavoidable defects. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to leave a link down below to the handbook published by the FDA that deals with food defects, and you can take a look through there.
And this is why you pray before you eat.
Is that the? Is that the major thing?
Because I heard rodent
Yes.
and poop.
You want some examples to make it worse? Let's have some examples.
I
Let's
mean,
make
it's
it
not gonna
worse.
At
change
this
what I'm gonna
point,
eat.
go ahead.
It hasn't either because I actually eat one of the things on this list, so
And
it's okay.
It is.
Well, black pepper. Black pepper can have more than 40 insect fragments with every teaspoon and a touch of rodent hair. If you're a coffee drinker, okay, coffee beans are allowed to have 10 milligrams or more of poop per pound. As much as 4 to 6% of beans are allowed to be insect infested or moldy.
This is nuts.
I can see that
How is the coffee getting poop in it?
because it's coming straight from the coffee bean. And
Yeah,
what's used to grow coffee beans? Manure. It's cow shit.
Or you might have a nice little rat who likes running across the beans. He might get a little too excited. Bloop, bloop.
Exactly.
Insects get in there during the processing period.
You literally have a farm. You think rodents are running through the farm?
And this is why you should probably just plant your own stuff. At
Okay,
this
cool.
point.
You're not going to stop a rat from running through your farm.
Well, we do have garden vegetables that, thanks to a neighbor, have come out really nice. And they taste so different. Like
When
farm grown versus
farm-grown
store bought is like,
Yeah.
you don't even want to go back. I don't know.
Oh, it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it took last year when our neighbor gave us tomatoes for me to realize what a tomato actually tasted like again. Because tomatoes in the grocery store just they're kind of bland. And then you get a farm grown one and it's just like, wow, that's nostalgic. I remember they tasted like this at one point from
Right.
the grocery store. So it's kind of strange.
Hey,
Oh
man.
my god.
Capitalism. That's what you got to.
That was a trend of the last episode, capitalism. If you
See,
haven't
look.
seen that, go ahead and click right
I be
there. Check out
listening.
the episode.
I
I see.
I'll be listening
He listens, but not enough to know which side I sit on.
because I listen.
The shade.
I listen. I haven't watched.
It's
yet.
okay, Tim. But you have to watch this one because you're on it.
Oh yeah, of course. I gotta see this good looking face right here.
Oh.
my gosh. Okay, and with that, we will be right back. We're going to take a quick break. Okay, and we're back. So, bugs in food may not be as scary as we thought because technically they're in there already anyway.
Yeah.
So hopefully that doesn't alarm you too much. And I'm amazed. This was the quickest that I've been able to get through topics. So now it's just a free ball here.
Because this is how we roll.
This is how we roll, in and out, swift.
This may be like the longer part of the show.
Right.
Right, and
Only
that's totally
free
fine.
ball.
Yeah. So, Tim, you had an interesting barbershop experience.
I did.
All right, we got to let the people know what happened.
Yeah. So I went to go get a shape up because I knew I was gonna be on camera today. And
Ladies.
He's single and ready to.
I am single.
He's single
And ready to mingle.
Have to make sure. Not trying to get you hemmed up, Tim.
Oh man. But yeah, nah. So it was funny because in Baltimore, there's like
You went
The
all
pre-
the
Went
way.
all the way to
no.
Oh,
okay.
No. This gentleman, he was going to Baltimore to go to the Preakness, which is like one of the like big three of the horse racing.
Okay.
But he was like dapper down, like pink shirt, white pants.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
He
Looking
had
like
the-
Easter.
He had the gaiters on. I was like, who is this guy?
Oh, wow.
I think he was a pimp.
Huh?
Hey, Matt. Well, let's see. Let's look at the facts
Did
here.
he-
Baltimore
He's going to Baltimore.
horse racing,
Mm-hmm. And then when I got in there, they was like-
alligator shoes.
and then they was like, "Yo, why you going to Baltimore?" He's like, "Oh, it's the Preakness. I'm going to the horse races." And I was like, "Okay, that checks out because if you go to like the Kentucky Derby,
yeah, you wear
you
wear
dress
that.
up and
Yeah.
you look cool. All right, bet. Here's the caveat:
Uh-oh, here's the catch.
he had an artisanal young lady with him in the barbershop.
Now, Tim, I have no idea what an artisanal young lady is, so you're gonna have to explain that to me. This is like, whoa, what is that?
Oh, that's a
Is she natural? Is that what you're saying?
no, that's just
No,
this
like-
is it's a beautiful woman.
Like an exotic.
Oh,
Not even
as they
exotic. She could
say exotic.
Nah, exotics. I don't even want to say exotic because
Then
you could
what
be-
is art?
it just means like you just fine. That's all it is.
Oh, so artisanal is replacing fine.
like a 9 and 10 on a out of 10.
a dime.
Nice
Yeah.
body.
Okay.
Yeah,
Real or
everything.
fake?
Either or, but
You couldn't tell. Man.
couldn't tell.
Uh,
It's not my problem because I wasn't
Couldn't
using
tell,
it.
man.
So
Okay. So he had an artisanal young lady, and they're going to the horse race. Well, that might check out, Tim.
But my thing was like,
What made you think he's a pimp?
because she was sitting in the barbershop.
I used to sit in the barbershop with my dad.
Yeah, but that wasn't
Uh-oh.
her father.
Wait a minute, ladies. We're adding this to our ongoing red flag list. If you sit in the barbershop,
You might be a part of a pimp.
you might be a red flag.
Or an artesian.
Are you going with your man to the barbershop?
Why not?
Just to sit there and just kick it?
Well, what if y'all have something to do afterwards and you don't have
Kim
time
is in
to
the
go
back
home?
shaking her head. No, she would not.
Exactly. Thank you, Kim. But yeah, nah.
I think if it was in a bit of a pinch, you might. I mean, I don't see the.
I mean, well, they were going somewhere.
Yeah, so
afterwards.
it's
See?
But nah, But here's another thing.
Okay.
He pulled out a wad of money because they were like, "Where you going?" And he was
Okay,
like,
I
I'm
see
going
where
to the
this
pre. He's like, "I got this money. I want to bet it on something."
Okay,
And
I
was
see what's
like,
happening. We may not have a pimp, but do we have a potential sugar daddy?
He may.
I think that.
I think it might be a 2-for-1.
I'm thinking that sounds like a sugar daddy.
Well, my question is, what is the definition of a pimp?
Nah, that. So after he left, right?
You just skirted right past
Right.
that. Okay.
No.
Okay.
But it will answer. It will answer.
Okay,
The question.
Okay.
Story
okay.
time.
After he left, the barber that was next to mine, he was like, "Yeah, man, I saw him on U Street one night," and he was like, "Yo, the young lady he had with him, he's like, yo, she was fine. I was about to go talk to her, and then she got in his car, and I was like,
Wait, on U Street?
yes."
Uh-oh.
I was like, oh,
Well, see, I don't know much about U Street.
you gotta go one time.
You gotta go.
Well, not when there's pimps out there. That
Nah.
sounds like a.
They not.
Nah,
Okay.
but I took them out. We had a good time.
What? Okay. Where I
Cloak.
Close.
Cloak.
okay. Well, I guess I have to add that to my list of things to do this summer. So Tim, you got to take us back.
I will happily.
Okay.
Tim will definitely.
Okay. So him and the young lady were on U Street. The young lady hopped in the car
his
when she
car.
saw another man.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, so this makes sense. Like, he really is a pimp, and I was like, that's tight. He's on the Bishop Don Juan.
Oh, not the bishop.
So a
the
pimp is
bishop.
like an older man, maybe like in his 60s and up.
Not even that. You could be a pimp when you're young.
You
It's
could be a
just,
pimp,
it's
technically.
just you're just in control of young ladies who sell that.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, there's even madams. You could be a pimp
Yeah.
if you want it. You just got to get a stable, which is a collection of women. Don't ask how I know that, but just.
You know Madam C.J. Walker?
Yeah.
Why they call her Madam?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Child, is this a verified fact? Wait a minute. Let me put a notation. Is Madam C.J. Walker?
Google it. You got your computer right there.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all keep going. I'm gonna check.
You
this
got
out.
your computer right there.
Y'all keep going. I'm gonna check this out.
It's a fact.
Madam
Why?
C.J. Walker.
Why do
Yes.
they call her madam?
Cause she was a female pimp. Like, she had a stable.
Now I know her with hair products.
But like what?
Exactly. What's the cover up?
No, God! No, God, please, no!
But what?
You gotta file something on.
oh Lord,
You gotta file something on
You
taxes.
found something.
no. But I'm looking. But I'm just saying the cover up. So you're saying she was laundering money through the hair care
Exactly.
before money laundering existed?
Exactly.
I have never heard this.
I think I.
You
am
gotta
so
report something to the
confused about what a
IRS.
pimp is.
Jeez.
Maybe we should skip this.
No, we didn't. You know what? I'm gonna come back because if this is real, I'm gonna mention this in another episode, and I'm gonna go in depth. Madam
C.J. Walker.
I mean, it makes sense with the name, but okay.
She's a madam.
All right. So you met a pimp at the barbershop. An
potential.
alleged.
No, he was a pimp.
It's
Maybe.
giving sugar daddy to me. This poor man. If he ever saw this,
Yeah, was
Nah.
he old, young?
He was in his 50s.
50s.
had the sugar daddy.
He looked like Ron Isley. So I know he was really
Oh.
Well, you know,
Okay.
that's giving that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
No offense, Mr. Isley. But yeah, you might
he
be
looked
right.
like Ron Isley.
You might be right. Okay.
Mr. Biggs.
Gee. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna ask y'all this.
Yes.
Have y'all seen like the Savannah James, so LeBron James' wife, and the Gabrielle Union comparisons online, where Savannah James said that she, instead of coming out into the media, she would much rather, she rather enjoyed being a wife and a good mother than being a media figure. And then in the same week, Gabrielle Union came out and just said how she splits everything 50-50 with Dwayne Wade, how she was one of the main earners in her household and she took care of her whole family. And that somehow has brought us back to the 50-50 dating split arguments on Twitter for the 1000th time.
Oh,
but now it's
we're
a
talking
sprinkle
about
of soft light.
heterosexual relationships?
Yes.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Here's where I feel about this. Like, whatever works for you works for you.
Thank you.
And so, but like, a lot of the people who talk about stuff like that, they can't be a part of either side of the argument. So it's just like, what are you even talking about? Like,
okay, give me an example.
All right, cool, bet. So the men defending 50-50 relationship,
yes,
they work at McDonald's.
Well, okay.
Well,
but they're hard workers, Tim.
No, they are essential workers. But cool. You can't really provide for a family working at McDonald's.
No, I don't think you could.
so therefore you
But also, like,
do the 50-50 argument.
exactly. But the women who are like against, like, who are vocal about it on Twitter,
Yes.
They don't bring anything to the table.
not even bring. I hate that term, that phrase.
We have a man who hates to bring something to the table.
Because it's like it's such like a scapegoat. Like, what do you bring to the table? Obviously, if you ask that question, you can't provide shit.
I know who I'm sending to this first. I've heard that from a guy, and I was just like, Well, it's not like that, but like, yeah, an older
I feel like
male
if you
figure.
ask that, because like if I'm on a date with you, like, I'm asking, what do you provide? What can you bring to the table? I wouldn't even go on a date with you in the first place.
That makes sense. I always thought that was a pretty aggressive thing to ask. Like, what do you bring to the table? And it's
Wait,
just
on
like,
a first
whoa.
date?
Or even at all.
Well, I think in general it's kind of nuts.
What do you bring to the table? Because if I go on like a date, or like, let's say we're 3 dates in, I know what you're capable of.
You're saying you should be able to see what somebody's bringing. You shouldn't have to ask.
But it's also like, what do you bring to the table? That's such a dumb question.
I just always found it super aggressive.
It's not aggressive. It's just dumb.
Well, for me, it's just like, well, what do you bring? And then we're just going to be going back
Now
and
we're
forth. What
going
do you
back
bring?
and
But no, but
forth.
what do you bring?
Right.
What?
And then if you
It's just dumb.
9 times out of 10, if you respond back with, what do you bring? They'll be stuttering. Like, it's
But that's
just
what
like,
I'm saying.
Also,
Like a legitimate question. I like, some people have problems with the goals questions, like where do you see yourself? But I think that's cool. Like you could, hey, what's going on?
I don't like the goals question though.
You don't hate it?
I don't hate it, but I don't like it because it's like, I don't know.
Goals change sometimes.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do 6 months from now. So why am I playing like?
I barely know.
Okay,
what
let me
week
see-
from
let me-
now.
let me
I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Let me specify. I think I'm talking from like a broader sense. Like for you, at one point in time, a doctor. Like that's
Right.
like that's not time frame. It's just like what do you want to do? Like what is something that means something to you,
Right.
and how are we getting there?
Well,
I guess
maybe
that's
the
what I
question
need.
should be
Help me.
rephrased.
Rephrase it for me.
But that's all.
Like that, instead of like, what are your goals or whatever. It should just be like,
I
what
don't
do you have
have
a
any.
passion for? What makes you
There we
happy?
go. Passion. Okay.
But that's also true too, because like if you asked me in high school what I was gonna be when I was an adult,
Child.
I would have been a journalist. I would really be. I would have been a
Really?
yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Because apparently I was so good at writing
Yeah.
that everybody, like when I wrote for like scholarships,
Uh-huh.
they'd be like, "Oh man, this is one of the best essays we ever read," and I was like, "Oh, maybe I should be a journalist if I could write this well."
Wow. I would have never
I didn't
known
know you
that.
could write well.
I mean, I was in honors English, but it was just,
Right, he was right there with us.
I was right there with y'all. But it's like, you thought I was there for my good looks? Like, nah. Like,
No,
But-
I just
oh my
never
gosh,
read a
back to the
paper of
looks.
yours to be like, oh wow, you can really write.
You know, like that was my thing. But fortunately, I don't think I would make it as a journalist. But fortunately, like when I went to school,
Yeah.
they didn't have a journalism program, so I was like, oh, great, thank you. So I don't have to like
Interesting.
fall into this. But
Okay. I learn more stuff about my friends when they come in front of the camera. What in the
Right.
world? I'm like, now I'm questioning everything. Like, you didn't say this before.
I'm sure
just
we had this.
joking.
I'm sure we had this conversation.
I'm joking.
Before.
Okay, so back to the Savannah James Gabrielle Union thing. I agree with what you guys are saying. Do what works for you. I've always been kind of that advocate, because that's why I think marriage is kind of weird, because I don't think there's a one size fits all for marriage
There
personally,
isn't.
and I just don't like that it's kind of like forced that way.
But
personally.
also, Gabrielle Union and Savannah James are 2 completely different people.
Yep.
Gabrielle Union was an
She had
was an
her
actor
own
like
career
was in the
before she
90s
married.
before she married
Right.
Dwayne.
Well, she said she wasn't. She wasn't making that much early on in her career because she was married before too. Then they tried to say she cheated on her husband. Like, it was a lot going on with Gabrielle Union.
But also she was like a teenage
we knew her.
actor.
Yeah, bring it
Right.
on. Yep.
So you're not making
before
much as
that.
a teenage actor.
The best
Yeah.
movie ever.
From a former cheerleader.
I am.
But also like Savannah James is LeBron James' high school sweetheart.
That's true.
So
Yeah, I think you just do what works best for you. We don't have to have the
Yes.
50-50 split conversations all the time. We can end that now, I think. If you want to
Please.
split 50-50, by all means. If you do not, maybe find the person who can provide you with the life you're looking for, but don't expect it, like Tim said, from a guy working at McDonald's
But
or a young
also-
lady working at McDonald's.
but also
it's
like
it's not possible.
people gotta like I clean up my Twitter, my social media like once a month. I like go back and like mute stuff and don't because like I don't want to see a lot of it.
I need to do that because I'm tired of it.
Because like a lot like I saw like a few people tweet about like the 50-50, but I was like I didn't see this.
It's like the
you know what?
same
You just
three
clean up your stuff. You just clean it up. Clean house.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I need to mute stuff on social media. Okay.
Absolutely,
No.
because social media will be so much more fun if you just follow who you like
I do that.
and you mute certain words.
Do you still have Saucy Santana muted?
I didn't have I'm a big Saucy Santana fan. I like Saucy
Okay.
Santana. It wasn't
Me
him.
too.
It was somebody else who I just muted because I was like, this is stupid. You just talking nonsense, and I was like, but Saucy Santana, I fuck with.
Okay, Saucy Santana is a gay male rapper. I've mentioned him before. I like him. I think
With
he's
a
funny.
big old butt.
I fuck with Saucy Santana. He's
I like-
cool. I saw him in Miami.
I like him. Did you?
You did?
Did you say hi?
He was performing.
I was about to
At
say,
Rolling
Tim, I
Loud.
didn't see that picture.
Right.
I was performing at Rolling Loud in Miami last year, and I was like, I made it a point. I was like, nah, I gotta go see him in his city.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay. Right. So relationships, do what you want, and don't take advice probably from people on social media.
Because they miserable in the first place
Oh.
from their mother's basements.
Okay. You know what? We'll just end it right there. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week of the Pow Wow Lounge. Thank you so much to my guests, Tim and Taylor. Thank you
Thanks
for
for
coming. I
having
appreciate
us.
it.
I appreciate this.
Do me a favor, please. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And follow me on TikTok. Well, not TikTok. I'm still debating TikTok. But follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Pow Wow Lounge. And I will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.